thank you for being here with us today. We know how busy your schedules are, right? We know how packed everything is at a conference like CCW Las Vegas. And you've probably seen, I don't know how many demos today, 10, 20, 30, a lot of them probably talking about AI as well. But really excited to be presenting here at the Parloa booth because this is not just going to be AI theater, right? We're going to show you a real life demo about what you can do with Parloa and SPAR, the SPARloa. Perfect. So before we dive into the presentation, we think it's only fair that you get to know us just a little bit better, right? So SPAR Solutions was founded in 2003. We got our start delivering EX and CX solutions to enterprise contact centers for companies like Ford, Chrysler, and GM. And we've remained working in the enterprise contact center space for the last 20 years. We have a lot of experience in highly regulated industries, proven track record of success, and we've been working with AI in contact centers since 2018. So moving forward, I think a lot of us that work in this industry understand how contact centers have historically been perceived, right? Oftentimes the contact center is looked at as a cost center. How can we cut costs? How can we automate? How can we move things offshore? But in 2025, that's really no longer the case. When you look at your contact center, it is the front lines of your customer experience. It's also a proving ground for AI. When you look at the contact center, it is a data-rich environment that's process-heavy and is outcome-driven, where every single second matters. And so as we think about this, and especially for the contact center leaders in the crowd, you basically have these twin pressures that you're always facing. We need to reduce costs, and we need to improve experience. And so right now in 2025, AI is the mandate. That's how we're going to get these things done.
And adding on a little bit to what Nick has been speaking about here, in this day and age, at this point in time, a lot of companies have also had their digital transformations. So when you think about your customers, many times the first time that your customer is actually interacting with the organization is actually on the customer service side. They've probably gone through a sales cycle that's been completely digital. There's been no human interaction. And it's when they come to the contact center is really where they're starting to actually engage with the organization beyond that sale.
And so those of you in the crowd, right, probably very familiar with this reality. Pressure continues to grow inside of the contact center, right? Especially as technology continues to develop, right? CSAT is down, call volume is up. And as a consequence of that, right, as customer expectations continue to rise, we have to contend with agent burnout. It's just an ever-present reality inside of the contact center. And so as you look at your agents, right, as they start to burn out, what ends up happening? Anybody in the crowd want to take a stab? They end up quitting, right? That's exactly right, Bill. If people quit, you really struggle to retain your agents. You then have to hire new agents. You then have to train those agents. And throughout that whole process, your CX is suffering. And so people have tried to address this in many different ways, whether it's through chatbots or whatever that's going to be. But oftentimes those chatbots are just kind of a bolt-on, or they're not totally integrated into your stack. And so that leads to problems, right? You've got these pressures coming from the top down that we need to bridge this gap, right? We need to reduce costs. We need to improve experience. And you're the leaders that are tasked with doing that. And so the question is how do we really begin to bridge that gap? And so like we said, we've been working in the space for 20 years, right? And so as we have these conversations about bridging the gap every single day with our customers, this is what we're hearing. Hey, leadership wants us to do AI, but they haven't really said what success looks like. Maybe they watched a demo of something. They think that that's exactly what it needs to be. This is how we're going to do it. We've picked out the path, but that might not work, right? Other people, they want to see a return on investment immediately. We don't just need another pilot. We need results today. So those of you in the crowd looking at what you're seeing on the screen, how many of you have heard something like this from your leadership? How many of you maybe have said some of this yourself? Anybody? No? Okay, well, fair enough. All right. So this is what we tend to hear from our clients, right? And a lot of this is due to battle scars. People have been trying to bridge this gap. They've tried other solutions and they've been burned by those solutions. It hasn't really worked for them. But the conversation that we want to have today is what if AI actually did work in your contact center? Not tomorrow, not theoretically, not after some massive overhaul, but what if it could work in a matter of weeks or months and prove return on investment? And that conversation is a consequence of what's happening in the market. This conversation is shifting, right? Largely in part due to agentic AI. It's no longer like, hey, what do we bolt on top of our systems? What do we bolt on top of our stack? Let's get another tool. But the question is how do we embed intelligent agents inside of our systems and inside of our workflows? So let's kind of take a step back right here, and let's look at the legacy attempt that people pursued to try to resolve some of these issues. Now, those of you in the crowd, again, looking at the screen, how many, this might look unfortunately very familiar to you, somewhat familiar. Sadly
familiar, right?
So yep. Sadly and unfortunately familiar, right? You have keyword-based prompts, you've got these static workflows, limited integration, decision tree complexity, and as a consequence of all of those things, what often happens is, right, is those solutions, they fail fast, and everything's escalated to your agents. So the problem, the problems that they were designed to solve, they really don't, and end up passing off the customer to your agents where perhaps they're more frustrated having had to go through this whole process.
And let me also speak to this thing from a little bit of a technical lens, right? It's not that AI has not been around, right? I mean, AI technology has been evolving. Of course, generative AI is the latest and the hottest thing that is a huge leap from where we used to be. But with the technology that's been had, we've had natural language processing, we've had natural language understanding, right? But integrating them as technologies into our platforms in the way we've built out chatbots in the past, the technology is not smooth enough, right? It doesn't feel natural and conversational. It always tends to feel very forced. And navigating around a customer that says, I've got problem A and problem B, and then for a system to intelligently break that down into two problems and then automate the process of, like a human agent, being able to have a conversation about the first problem and then moving on to the second problem, or for the same problem when it's described in 2 or 3 different ways by different customers, right? Being able to understand that and make that much more natural. That's really where a lot of the AI technologies have really struggled in the past.
I see why you're trying to give me the...
And generative AI, of course, is promising to really be a much more different and a much more natural way of handling these conversations.
So, like we said regarding the legacy attempt, this is sadly familiar. And so, those of you in the crowd, right, what were the outcomes of this attempt? Do these outcomes also look sadly familiar? Okay, so yeah, if we could get you...
You never made your containment goals. You were never able to really deflect and get the value that you expected to out of ROI.
And that's exactly what you were attempting to solve, right? So missing your containment goals, not able to deflect, everything ends up going to your human agents anyways. And so what would an ideal model look like? So let's forget about the legacy attempts, right? What we tried to do. No, come on through, it's fine. Let's get you on camera, we'll get a picture together. What would an ideal model look like? So let's do a thought experiment here. Bill, since you've been the one interacting the most, if this is the model that you had implemented, would this look sadly familiar, or how might you describe something like this?
I would say it's really what we've been looking for. The fact that it can adapt to what I'm saying, be able to ask, because typically customers aren't calling just with one question, they're calling with 2 or 3. Why did I get this bill? And oh, by the way, you held my address for it.
Yeah.
You can't do that with traditional model.
Exactly. So when you look at this model, this is exactly what you've been looking for, right? That will actually allow you to contain. You won't be forced to deflect. And so if you have this model, right, if you're able to implement this model, you're also going to end up with these ideal outcomes. And so you're going to end up with something that understands your customers better. It's going to handle exceptions better, right, without breaking the flow. You're going to be able to fully audit and track everything that your agents are doing. So it's absolutely perfect. And so as we think about this, I'll pass this over to Swami here a little bit. This is really the next generation of contact center AI that we're talking about, right? And so we like to think about this in several different layers. At the very top of that pyramid is your outcome layer. Our ultimate goal here is to enhance EX and CX. You really want to enhance that experience for your customers, right? Faster resolution, less effort, just a more consistent experience across all of your channels. The next layer down, right? How do you get that enhanced CX? How do you enhance that for your customers? That's going to come through agentic systems, right? That execution layer where the real work is actually happening. Beneath that, you're going to need to deeply integrate those agents with all of your systems, right? That's your orchestration layer. And then beneath that, finally, the foundation of everything are your enterprise systems that you already have, that you don't have to rip and replace. So everything starts from that foundation builds on top of one another, and ultimately results in that enhanced customer experience. Let's revisit this slide now, right? So as we look at this next generation of contact center AI that's embedded, autonomous, and connected, talking about that strategic go-to-market, right, partnership model, as we revisit this, what do we see, right? Your enterprise systems don't change. You still have that same foundational layer. But on top of that, that orchestration layer where you need deep integration, that's where somebody like a SPAR comes in, right? They're going to help you integrate those systems with Parloa's platform, right? And those Parloa agents. So ultimately together, we can provide that enhanced CX in that outcome layer. And so, really what we want to recommend to you is you don't need more tools. You don't need to bolt something else on. You need a real solution that actually works. And with Parloa, SPAR, and your systems, we can make that happen. We'll deliver AI that delivers results at scale and improves your CX. And so we've probably talked enough. You're probably getting tired of watching me go through all of these slides or asking you questions. And so what we want to do is we want to show you this live in action. So we've got a demo. It's for a lost credit card. It's a fictional bank, right? ISS SPAR Bank. And so when you think about a lost credit card, somebody calling in to replace their credit card, on the surface, it seems really, really simple, right? Hey, I've lost my card. Can you mail me a new one? But if you think about what's happening behind the scenes when somebody makes that call, it's a little bit more complex than that, right? Somebody calls in, they're gonna have to verify their identity, right? After that, you're gonna have to make sure, hey, has there been any fraudulent activity? Hey, now that we've confirmed there's no fraudulent activity, we've verified your identity, we now need to get you a new card. Which card do you need? What address do you need it to go to? How quickly do you need that card? So there's a lot that's happening. And so now let's watch how a Parloa agent will handle this from start to finish.
Hi, I'm Sadejal Sina with SPAR Solutions, and today I'll be showing you how a financial services company with a consumer credit card branch can provide 24/7 personalized service to their customers, leveraging the power of a Parloa AI agent integrated with Salesforce. Here we have Julie. This is her customer record pulled up in Salesforce. You can see that Julie has a number of financial accounts, including some with recent transactions. The focus for today will be Julie's Platinum card. In this demonstration, ISS SPAR Bank, the credit card provider, is using Salesforce as their CRM, and the caller, Julie, will be receiving help from a Parloa AMP agent at SPAR Bank named Nora. Now, the good thing about Nora is that she's able to access and make changes in Salesforce to offer personalized assistance to customers calling in real time, just as a human agent would. This is the future of AI banking assistance. Now, let's watch how Nora handles Julie's Platinum card case in real time.
Hello, thank you for calling SPAR Bank. My name is Nora. I'll be your AI banking assistant. How can I help you today?
Hey, I think I lost my card.
No problem at all. Let's take care of that for you. For security purposes, could you please provide the last 4 digits of your social security number? This will help me verify your account and assist you further.
Yeah, no problem. That'll be 9809.
Thank you for providing that. And I'm so sorry to hear that you've lost your card. I can only imagine how frustrating that must feel. I'll do everything I can to help. I just have a few quick questions to help us get started. Would you like to place a temporary lock on your card or get a new one?
I would just like to replace the old one.
I'll help get your card replaced for you as quickly as possible today. Could you please provide the last 4 digits of the card number you would like to replace?
I don't have the card with me, so I don't remember. Which cards do I have on my account?
You have a signature card and a platinum card on your account. Could you let me know which one you'd like to replace?
I'd like to replace the platinum card.
I've updated the status of your platinum card so it is no longer active, and I've submitted a request to replace it with a new one. Would you like to receive your new card at your address on file, which is 123 Main Street?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great. Are you okay with receiving your card via standard shipping, which means it will arrive 3 days from today? If you need it sooner, I can arrange for 1-day expedited shipping for a $12 charge.
No, I would just like it regular.
Your new Platinum card will be shipped to 123 Main Street and should arrive in 3 days. The card style will be the same as your previous one. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's it.
All right, your order for a new card has been processed. Thank you for calling SPAR Bank and have a great day.
Thank you.
My pleasure. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out. Take care.
Now let's move back to the top of the conversation transcription so we can see what happened. These notes here show Nora's processing logic. The first thing we see is that Nora was able to access the Salesforce data storage to prepare to authenticate Julie's account. After cross-verifying that she had the correct account for Julie, Nora is ready to help, asking probing questions to see what the customer would like to do. Even though Nora asked whether Julie would like to get a new card, Julie responded that she would just like to replace the old one. Nora understood right away that Julie was responding to her second question and prepared to gather Julie's old card information from her customer record so she could take her next steps. When Julie said she didn't have her card with her, Nora understood that Julie was not able to decide which cards to replace based on the card number. So, Nora gave Julie some other attributes of the cards on Julie's accounts so she could decide which one to replace. Nora was then able to write back to Salesforce and make an update to Julie's account so that the Platinum card would no longer be active and start a new card order. Nora was able to provide Julie with some personalized options for her card shipping order based on her account and conclude Julie's customer service request. Now let's take a look at what Nora accessed in Salesforce. As we saw, Nora verified Julie's account using the last 4 digits of her social security number shown here. Then, Nora was able to access Julie's list of owned financial accounts to start verifying the lost card Julie mentioned at the start of the call. Once Nora verified with Julie that it was the Platinum card that needed to be replaced, she updated the card status so it was no longer active. Finally, to process Julie's new card order, she verified Julie's mailing address and the shipping options available to her. And with just that information, Nora was able to fully resolve Julie's request in real time. At SPAR Solutions, we trained Nora, this Parloa agent, to handle one of the most frequent and repetitive calls that a human agent would typically manage. However, the possibilities for your own Parloa AI agent are virtually limitless. That includes card activation, transaction disputes, balance inquiries, fraud alerts, payment confirmations, and more. When your contact center needs extra capacity, faster response times, or new service capabilities, SPAR Solutions can help you get your own Parloa AMP agent up, running, and fully integrated with Salesforce. Thank you for watching this demonstration, and we look forward to helping you explore the future of AI-powered customer service.
Cool. So, what do we think about Nora? Pretty incredible stuff, right? How many of you have seen something like that before? If you've been to the Parloa booth this morning, that doesn't count. You can't raise your hand. Perfect. But yeah, that's something brand new, right? An agent that's able to understand intent behind what you're actually saying, not just looking at keywords. Great example there with the card, right? So able to understand what the customer is really looking to do, right? When she wants a new card, she doesn't have to say new card. She can say, I lost my card. Understand immediately what's happening. Hey, do you want expedited shipping? No, just regular is fine, right? Using words that most other solutions wouldn't be able to handle. So you've probably seen this, you probably have some questions. You wonder like, hey, could I do something like that? Already have some ideas. Anybody in the audience have any ideas or questions that you want to explore? Bill, my man? No. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to move into another use case, right? So Parloa and Parloa's agents aren't just restricted to the financial services or the banking industry, right? You can imagine a Parloa agent working in a variety of different ways. So another use case that we're exploring with a customer, right? We've been thinking about tier one support. So imagine a multinational corporation, 15,000 agents distributed across the globe, working in a variety of capacities in a variety of environments, right? They could be stocking shelves, they could be working on the manufacturing floor, they could be in office, they could be working remote. They're all going to have all of these different issues that they have to address with their support team, right? So this happens frequently. Often the process can be very fragmented, right? You need to call in, talk to an agent. Hey, let us get all of your information, figure out what's going on. Then they're manually capturing that information. You hope that they're capturing it accurately. Once they've done all of that, they then have to route it to the tier two agent, right? To make sure that they can take care of it. So how great would it be if an AI agent could handle that entire process for you seamlessly from start to finish? Well, with Parloa, that's possible. So let's take a look and let's see what happens.
Hi, I'm Sadeja Alsina with SPAR Solutions. Today we're showing how an IT help desk can use an AI voice agent built on Parloa's AMP platform and fully embedded in Salesforce Service Cloud to deliver fast, accurate Tier 1 support. You'll see how the agent captures and classifies issues, how it creates Salesforce cases with no human help required, how it reduces time and workload for support teams, and how SPAR Solutions makes this integration seamless for enterprise clients. Meet Lauren Bailey, a data analyst at Omega Inc., a large enterprise with 15,000 employees. You can see her employee profile here in Salesforce. That includes devices that have been assigned to her, prior cases that she has submitted or that are currently active, and any active entitlements that she has. Today, Lauren's calling in with a hardware issue, so let's watch what happens when she connects with our Parloa AI agent. Our AI agent is named Theo. Theo has been trained to handle Tier 1 IT intake across common support scenarios, including hardware, software, access issues, and more. So let's place a call and see how Theo is able to handle it.
Thank you for calling SPAR IT Help Desk. My name is Theo. How can I help you today?
Hi, Theo. I'm having an issue. My laptop is not charging.
Hi there. I'm sorry to hear about your laptop not charging. Let's get this sorted out for you. Could you please provide me with your employee ID?
That will be 513-4765.
All right, let me check your employee information. Please hold on for a moment. Thank you for your patience. Could you please confirm your first name and last name for verification?
That'll be Lauren Bailey.
Great, Lauren. You mentioned your laptop isn't charging. Could you please provide the serial number of your laptop? If you have a Dell, it should start with DL.
DL7789.
Perfect. I've got it pulled up now. Thank you, Lauren. How long has this charging issue been happening?
I would say since last night, it just stopped showing the charging icon.
All right. Thanks for letting me know. Could you please provide a detailed description of the issue or any other notes that might help in creating the case?
I think that's it. This morning I tried plugging it out and plugging it back in. It still was not working.
Thank you for the details, Lauren. Is there any other issue related to this topic that you'd like to mention?
No, that's it.
All right. I'll create a case for you now. Please hold on for a moment. Your case has been created successfully, Lauren. Your case number is 00001396. You will receive an acknowledgement email shortly, and a help desk technician will reach out to you at the earliest. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
No, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Lauren. If you need any further assistance, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
As the call wraps, Theo then created a complete case in Salesforce for Lauren linked to her employee record. So that includes the case number, the case status, the fact that she called in for this case, that she needed product support for her device, which in this case was the Dell laptop. And he was able to put a subject and a description that make this case ready to be handed off to a tier 2 agent to resolve. What used to take several minutes of back and forth and manual data entry is now automated and consistent. The next agent already has the right context for the case, linked assets, and clear case routing. So this results in faster resolutions, lower workloads, and higher service quality overall. This is more than just automation. It's agentic orchestration, where AI agents, enterprise data, and cloud platforms work together to amplify your service capabilities. At SPAR Solutions, we train Parloa agents like Theo to your use case. We integrate them with Salesforce and your enterprise stack. We help you deploy them in production at scale. If you're ready to explore how AI agents can reduce workload and boost CX in your IT help desk or across other service areas, contact SPAR Solutions. We'll help you make it real. Have a great day, and thank you for joining me for this demonstration.
Perfect, fantastic. So if we can also give Theo a round of applause, as well as Sadeja. She's not here, but she did a wonderful job with those demos as well. And so now, right, I think we can all acknowledge you already have the systems in place that you need to build agents like this. You're only missing two things, right? Parloa and SPAR to bring this to life. And so the next question you might have is, hey, how do we actually start? Where should we begin? I've got some use cases in mind, but I'm not sure if they're the right use cases. And so this is a very simple framework that you can use to begin to identify your use cases, right? You want to start small and scale intelligently. So we like to think about it in two ways, in terms of volume and in terms of complexity. And so you can put each of your use cases in each one of these quadrants. In fact, you can see the two use cases we just demoed up there, right? So you might have things that are high volume and very complex. You may have things that are high volume and are very simple. You might have low volume and complex, and you might have low volume and simple. We recommend starting probably in this quadrant if you can, right? Because you want high impact, you want to prove the use case, and then you want to scale. And so this isn't really about experimentation. This is about acceleration. This is happening today. Talk to anybody at the Parloa booth. They'll show you their use cases, right? Across insurance, banking, healthcare, telco. This is real life right now. It's not just AI theater. So you've seen it work, right? Now all we have to do is imagine it in your world. So what are the next steps? Identify your high impact use cases. Then we want to map those workflows into your existing systems and launch agents that drive real resolution and enhance your CX. So yeah, the fastest path to smarter service starts here with SPAR and Parloa. Go ahead and scan the QR code down here if you want to schedule a consultation with SPAR, or just come by the booth, talk to us, talk to the people at Parloa, bring your most difficult use case, and they'll explain to you how they can make it happen, right? Thank you so much for the time today. We'll now do a short Q&A. Cool. Questions? Yeah. Bill? Jeremy? Cool.
How long did it take you to build out this demo?
Oh, then. So each of the demos?
Yes.
Oh gosh. To build the demos, probably about a week, 3 days to a week from start to finish. Yep. Why do you ask, Dorothy?
Because I heard Parloa is no code. Did you find that to be true?
So the Parloa platform, yes, very, very easy to use, very, very intuitive, right? But then as we also look at that orchestration layer, integrating it with the other systems, that's where it took a little bit more time, right? So it's all going to depend on your use case, the complexity of your use case, and the other systems that are involved. So working with Parloa itself, super simple. Integrating the Salesforce, working there, a little bit different. But yeah, less than a week, easily, if not a couple days.
So why should a customer use SPAR?
Well, obviously, I'm very, very biased, in this regard. One, our people are a delight to work with. We always put the customer first. Our mission is to build trust. We don't want to operate transactionally. We don't want to get in, get out. Our average customer relationship lasts over 6 years, right? So we want to get in, we want to learn your systems, we want to help you succeed. We also have incredible depth when it comes to the technical side, right? Integration is a true strength of ours, which is going to be something that's very, very necessary here. So if you want to work with a partner that you can trust, that has been operating in the enterprise contact center space for 20 plus years and has incredible strengths with integration, I would recommend SPAR over anybody else. But again, very, very biased. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah.
Good work.
I'm actually curious, why Parloa? Like, why do you want to partner with Parloa?
Well, like Dorothy alluded to, one is the platform, two is the people. And again, just seeing what we're able to create and produce with Parloa is uniquely compelling. We're working with other agentic systems and have not seen the same kind of success that we have with Parloa. Again, a lot of other platforms, it's AI theater, where they're showing you something that's not really real yet. It might be vaporware. You go and talk to them and you find out like, hey, that functionality didn't actually exist. You were just kind of flying stuff up on a slide. Talking to everybody at Parloa, watching the demos, seeing the real life use cases and seeing the impact, no brainer. Other questions? Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Cool. Yeah, have fun.